Today is going to be a pretty interesting show. Why? Because we're going to be talking about some workplace conflicts, right? And it seems like something that happens, quite frequently at ESPN, right? Always every month or two, every 2-3 months, every quarter, there's always something happening. Maybe something overt, something that we can all easily see. And then sometimes there's something that happens that's quite subtle that most of us are just not, may not understand what's really happening. Now, as y'all know, it's currently the NFL playoffs right now. And there was some pretty big games. And recently, one of the teams, I believe the Dallas Cowboys, I forgot the team they played. I believe it was the 49ers. I didn't watch it, but I think it was against the 49ers. Anyway, they lost that game. Now, as you know, the Dallas Cowboys are probably the biggest fan base in the United States. There's so many Cowboy fans. I know some people in my family. One of my cousins' husbands, he's a Cowboy fan. Like, there's so many Cowboy fans, and it's fun, talking to these people. And in sports media, I think the biggest Cowboy fan out there is Skip Bayless, right? He's the biggest one. But the biggest Cowboy hater, I think we can all classify that person as Stephen A. Smith. No one derives more pleasure than Stephen A. Smith when watching, the ineptitude of the Dallas Cowboys. He absolutely loves it. And the irony in all of this is that he's also quite close with the team owner and Jerry Jones, right? Very close with him. And you've seen him take him in his helicopter, show him around what they call it, Jerry World and all of that. An incredible facility that they got down there. So we know this about him. Now, Stephen A. Smith in the past, whenever the Cowboys lose, he always comes out there and puts on his cowboy hat, which to me is quite funny, right? It's quite funny. And recently, the Cowboys lost, and I think they blamed it on Dak Prescott for not being able to generate enough points for that offense. And they said Micah Parsons and these guys, the defensive side, they did their part. So everyone was kind of like, everyone was kind of trying to figure out what exactly happened. And after they lost, we all knew that the person that we were all waiting to see was going to be Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take. And funny enough, we came across this clip of him with, I think, Michael Irvin. And to me, I thought it was hilarious. He was standing there. Michael Irvin was like, the camera was facing him, and he was talking like, how can we lose or something like this. And then Stephen A. Smith pops up behind him with a Jerry curl on. And he goes, shut up. Like, to me, I thought that it was just absolutely hilarious, right? Absolutely hilarious. But apparently, there are some people out there, working at ESPN that think that maybe this all of this trolling he does at the Cowboys, maybe he may be doing that for show. So we actually got this article from Clutch Points. There are other articles, but I just decided to read this one. Let me just start off with the article. It starts off with the headline: Jalen Rose throws shade at Stephen A. Smith for fake trolling Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are officially eliminated from the 2023 NFL playoffs, and no one is happier than Stephen A. Smith, who literally relishes the opportunity to troll America's team. On Monday, the outspoken ESPN analyst took the time to put together a hilarious skit to make fun of the Cowboys and Michael Irvin, a lifelong Dallas fan and, of course, an ex-player for the franchise. Well, a certain someone who works for ESPN has had enough of Stephen A. Smith roasting Jerry Jones and company. Jalen Rose caused some controversy online Monday night with a series of tweets about Smith's fake trolling of the Cowboys for all these years. One of the tweets he wrote, preying on the audience being dumb, lazy, and low-hanging fruit, right? Then another one was, got y'all talking about Dallas, knowing the only way they can actually shut up critics is to win it all, suckers. And then he left another tweet where he wrote, I guess he was responding to himself. He said, so glad I didn't make a career of content pretending to fake troll the Cowboys. Those tweets have a lot of people speculating whether or not he's talking about Stephen A. Smith. Here's my take on this. I think that he may or may not be talking about him, but Stephen A. Smith may fit the bill, right? He may fit the bill in terms of somebody that he could be potentially be talking about, because he trolls them a lot. He makes fun of them a lot. And obviously it must generate some ratings. Otherwise, why would they do it, right? So obviously is making some money. Now, there's another aspect of this that I want to address, and that's more from the creative side of it. As you know, sports is very competitive, especially now with the advent of social media. Everything has become decentralized, and there's so many people talking about sports. So for you to really stand out, you have to be really good, but also you got to be catchy, right? And I remember something that Robert Kiyosaki said in the Rich Dad Poor Dad. He goes, I'm not a bestseller because I wrote the best book. I'm a bestseller because, you know, I know how to sell books. Basically, it's not so much about the quality of the book that you're writing, but your ability to be able to market it and sell it. And I'm saying that to say that a certain level of embellishment has to take place. You have to have interesting things to do. You have to make your shows interesting, keep things fresh, keep things light in order to keep people, to get people's attention, number one, and number two, in order to keep it. For example, you look at our setup here. This setup is not going to stay the same forever. We're obviously going to do another update just to keep things fresh. Keep things interesting for people. Obviously, you want to put catchy titles out there. Otherwise, people are not going to click, right? And if people are not tuning in to watch your show, you may have the greatest content in the world, but if nobody tunes in to watch it, who knows it? Just you and maybe the few people that tune in. So I understand that aspect, but I also understand the standpoint of where people kind of overdo it, and now you know that they're clearly doing this because it makes money. It's sort of like a hack. Right, you're just using it as a hack, and people are, some people are dumb enough to fall for it. Some platforms out there talk about 4 or 5 things every single day because they know it works, and it doesn't take a lot of creativity when you have 4 or 5 topics that you can talk about every single day, and it's going to make you money, right? Because they're just going to do that because that's what it works. So some people can say, oh, well, what is it? Undisputed trolls LeBron James. Well, they talk about LeBron because it makes money. So they're doing it for a reason. There is a reason for them doing it. Because obviously it's going to make them money. But I understand what Jalen Rose is saying. And he could very well be talking about Stephen A. Smith. He didn't mention the name, but I mean, a lot of people are going to associate him because he works at ESPN just like Jalen Rose. And he is the biggest cowboy troll. Right? He is the biggest cowboy troll. Now, some of his skits I think are hilarious, especially that last one. Some people said they found it to be cringy. That's their opinion, right? That's their opinion. Everyone has this art. So in entertainment, we're all not going to like the same things. Some people love our show. Some people hate our show, right? But what ESPN, I think these guys know is that whether you like us or hate us, you're still going to watch. And same thing for some of the people that hate our content. It's usually the people that hate us the most that always comment first and do all of this stuff. So they may hate you, but apparently it works. And maybe the people that troll the Cowboys, maybe they understand that. But then again, Jalen Rose has every right to share his opinion. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this. What I want to know from you guys is, number one, do you think he was talking about Stephen A. Smith? And number two, what do you think about the points he made? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next one. Peace.